Starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, welcome to our training today. We're going to be going over some stuff that's kind of new in the system, and then we're going to cover a couple of different topics today and then open it up for questions and answers for anything that you guys would like to cover. So before we get started, maybe we can just take just a second to make sure that you guys can actually hear me talking. Can you guys hear me okay, and can you see my screen? Oh, you can't see my screen yet. Now you should be able to see it. All right. Hey Herb, welcome. Great to have you with us today. Let's see here. All right, can you guys see me okay? Okay, Todd is not going to be with us today, so it's just us holding down the fort. So I will be answering questions and talking at the same time. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. We got a couple of new things in the system that we'd like to cover. Just to make it a little bit easier on you, as the system evolves and as we use it ourselves and as we get feedback from you guys, and we always appreciate your guys' feedback. You guys are always very kind and very supportive as we kind of build this out, kind of make it our own, make it work the way that we want it to. It's been a lot of fun. So we've been able to do some really fun stuff. So I thought we would go over a couple of things today and show you how your life has just become easier. So the first one is right in front of you, and it is create a client button. Now remember how we used to have 3 buttons that went across the top here? And the first one was to create a pixel, like a free pixel group. The second one was to do it-yourself, just retargeting. So if you just want to do retargeting, it's that second button. And the third one was to do the full-on DFY, where we step in and we set everything up and manage it for you and all that. Remember? All right, so what we've done is we brought everything like that into a single button. And we've done that in a way where once you click on the button, it takes you through a certain set of questions. And the first question is, do you only need to create a free retargeting pixel to be used later for a campaign? And we did this one first because this is the one that we use most often. And so we're always putting pixels everywhere and setting up new clients, but it's not always 100% of the time that those clients become clients, paid clients rather. And so we set that up first just to make it easier to get to setting up a pixel. So if you click on yes right here, it'll just take you right over here to create a retargeting pixel. Really easy, right? So now if we go back over here and we choose no, then what it does is it just opens up a second set of questions to narrow it down further. And it says, I want you to manage my display and retargeting campaign. And it just reminds you that it's a $300 minimum per month for this type of campaign. And then the second option is I want to do a self-managed retargeting only campaign. And as a reminder, it reminds you that it's like $50 a month to start that. All right, so if you click on this one right here, you can start a DFY project. And if you click on the other one, it'll just take you to a self-managed retargeting project, just the way that you want it to be. So hopefully that's a little bit easier to kind of go through. And once you kind of add a few of these, you'll just be able to click right through it and get right to where you need to be. But we thought we'd kind of free up some real estate up here on top and just create a single button. And there's a lot of places that you can get here. You can get here from the dashboard. So there's a create a client button on the dashboard. There's a plus button right here on any page that you can click there, and it just brings you right here to create a new project. Or you can create a new project on the list client. So there's lots of places that you can go to add a new client. All right. If you guys have any questions along the way, of course, go ahead and type them in, and we'll tackle those. All right. Now, the second thing that we've done to make your life a little bit easier is that we often need to add new sets of banners to our campaigns. Either they're maturing and we just want to add a new set of banners to be able to keep things fresh on the retargeting side so that we can kind of maintain the interest on people over a long period of time. Or if we want to do some split testing and say, hey, we want to choose or we want to test rather banner set A versus banner set B to see which one is going to convert better. So that would require 2 sets of banners to be ordered. So anytime that you want to do that, you can order banners from a whole bunch of different places on the website. So I'm going to show you 4 different places that you can order banners from. The first one is right here under banner progress. If you click on that, you'll see that there's an order, a set of banners right here at the top. And it'll take you through here and it'll say, okay, now which project do you want to order the banners for? And you can say, hey, I want it for Jim's Pest Control. And you can say, order the banners. And then right here is where you create a new set of banners. And this is where the payment happens, is when you go through this place right here. So we always warn you before any money will be charged. And it says, please note that $150 will be deducted from your available funds right here for the creation of a new set of banners. And so I'm going to close this right here. But basically, when you do that, it'll remove the $150 out of your available for projects. And if you don't have any funds in there yet, it'll just prompt you to say, hey, you need to add your funds first. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. The next place that you can order banners from is if you click on List Clients and you go under View for any one of your clients right here, you'll notice that there is a new button right here that says Order or Manage DFY Banners. So if you click on that, it takes you to the same page. And let's go back one. And if you click on Manage Banners, you're going to see that there's a button up here that says Order or Manage your DFY Banners. And so you can manage these right here. And so it all takes you back to that same page right here, which is where you can manage the images for like logos and all that kind of stuff for this client. Or you can create a new set of banners, or you can edit. Really not really edit, but you can edit the contents right here of when we're creating banners for you, so we can know like all the information for each of the banners, like what the headline is, what the stage 1 and stage 2 is going to look like, that kind of thing. Here's the approval section. So when the banners get done, you'll be sent an email and a text as to where it'll take you right to this page, and it'll show you, hey, here's all the banners. And then you can either approve them or you can submit them back for updates or changes. And then when it's all done, you can mark it as approved, and then we'll be all done. And we'll just merge those right into your account and get them going for you. All right. Pretty straightforward. It'll take you, I know we go through it real quick right here, but it'll just take you like 1 or 2 times of going through the process, and it'll become real natural for you. We try to make it as intuitive as possible. All right. So Mike is saying that, have you noticed that the WordPress plugin that we're using is not updating properly according, that is, to WordFence? I'm not sure what you mean. I haven't seen that myself on the websites that we're working with. Basically what Mike is talking about is there's a WordPress plugin that we kind of use on our site, and we've kind of mentioned it a few times, called Google AdWords Remarketing. And it's a plugin that you can install into your WordPress site, that you can just plug in the retargeting code into there, and it just puts it on all the pages. It's real nice. So I think what Mike is saying is that that WordFence is showing that it's not updating properly or something like that. So I haven't seen that. Has anyone else seen that on your side? If it's just you, Mike, maybe what we can do is we can just work offline and figure it out, but I haven't seen it on my side. Steve was asking if we put these weekly trainings up on the site. Yes, we do. And if you come over here to the training and resources, you'll find these training sessions right here. Here's last week's right here, B2B data, Q&A, and so you can see all the way down all the ones that we've done. In fact, here's a whole bunch of older ones down here. I'm not sure if I recommend you watching all these older ones. Some of them have some really good stuff in it, but some of the data, and you'll see the system looks a lot different back then because we've evolved. But these tend to be very good all in here. Especially the last 5 or 6 have been especially good as far as answering questions and things like that. So one thing that I thought that I would do today, and I won't do it if you guys don't think it'll be valuable, but basically, if you guys have not, just as a quick note, if you haven't done a one-on-one with either Todd or I, then we would really like you guys to meet with us individually so we can kind of get to know you a little bit and talk to you specifically about your agency, how to get set up. We'll walk you through the system. We'll do a one-on-one with you guys just so that you guys are really familiar with the system and how it works, and just to kind of know, so that you're comfortable with it. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and send us an email here. I'm going to type it in. at help@trafficoxygen.com. Okay. And so basically, at that point, what we do is either Todd or I will get with you and we'll set everything up and we'll walk through that together, or we'll walk through the system with you together and talk to you about your business and best node methods and stuff like that. So it'll be fun to get to know you a little bit. All right. So that being said, let's see here. What I thought I would do today was, let's see here. Scott is saying that he missed 5.3. I think the last one we had is the B2B data is the last one we had. I don't know if we had one on 5.3, did we? Maybe Todd did one without me. I think I was gone. So I'll work with Todd and see if we can get that one put up there. Oh, the reason I didn't know about it is because I wasn't there. I was in the mastermind group during that time. So Todd was covering for me last week, like I'm covering for him now. So I'll make sure that Todd gets that one up for 5.3 so that you guys can get that. All right. Let's see here. For banners, Mike was asking, is there an external link that we can go to give the client so that they can go directly to the view approve process to view approve them directly? And no, there's really not like a client login that's like white labeled and all that kind of stuff. So the best way to do it is just to download the banners and send it to them via email, or to show it to them on your screen. One of those two things. So that's usually the best way to do that. All right. So one thing that I was thinking about is that when I was at the mastermind, we had some pretty incredible people there. And one of the people that we had at the mastermind group was, and this was a B2B mastermind, so this was specifically for companies who sell business to business. And so I was thinking that we might just have just a few minute discussion. I'm not going to go on and on about it. Just a few minute discussion about some of the things that I learned there that might be helpful for you. And some of the people we had in the group, we had the youngest CEO of Bank of America with us, and he was a pretty interesting guy. He became it was either like the executive VP or CEO, one of those top positions, when he was 23 years old. Very interesting guy. Of course, he was Ivy League and stuff like that. So he was I think he went to MIT and in Stanford or something like that. It was one of those Ivy League schools and stuff like that. But he was there at the mastermind, and he had some really interesting things to say. And then also we had a gentleman there, and his name was Michael Belikov, and he is one of the senior contributors for Forbes magazine and for Entrepreneur. So one thing that he talked about there that I thought was really relevant was understanding goals and strategies, objectives, and tactics in the age that we live in right now. And the things that he talked about, I mean, it sounds boring, right? We've all talked about goals and strategies and all that kind of stuff. But it was really enlightening the way that he described it, because, as a company, we've all kind of gone through and, set up goals and put things together as a company to try to achieve those goals and things like that. But I thought it was kind of like new and fresh the way that he talked about it. And I thought we might just talk about it just for a second. Now, before we do that, though, maybe I can ask you guys, is this something that you guys want to talk about? If not, don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings. Just because I thought it was cool doesn't mean that you guys think it'll be helpful. And I don't want to sit here and waste your time. Okay. So Herb was saying, sure. Mike says, go ahead. Sure, go. Okay, good. So as we go along, feel free to just pop in some questions. I see some here that I'll answer in just a second, Mike. I'll answer those in just a second. So the reason that I thought this was important is because, my company, Traffic Oxygen, with Todd and I, is not a big company. We're very much the same as you guys are. We don't have lots of employees. We don't have lots of layers of middle management. And so that being said, I've never really felt the need as an owner of the company, much like you guys. You guys are all owners of your companies, and you guys all probably have or will have at some time an employee or two or three or four or five, right, as you grow. And so I've never really felt a need with such a small company to be able to, spend the time to work out your core mission statement, your values, your, all of those different things that you kind of see in bigger corporations like, Intel or Motorola or Infusionsoft or all those companies that have hundreds of employees, right? So one day, one of my employees, I was talking with him and we're having like a kind of evaluation, like a personal evaluation to see where they were professionally and if they were happy and things like that. And he basically said, you know what? He says, I need to know what our core mission statement is and what our core values are. Our mission statement and core values, rather. And I said, really? I said, that's important to you? And he said, absolutely. So I said, how about this? How about if you go and create our mission statement and core values? And he says, I would love to. And so he went out and he spent the next 3 or 4 days going through all these big companies, mission statements and core values and all those different types of things that kind of establish who you are and what everybody's working for. And when he came back, he had something that was really incredible. And I'm not going to show it with you today because maybe we can do this on a different type of training if you guys are interested outside of this training. And so he came back with some really interesting things that were really good. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And so we had a company meeting and we presented these and said, do we all agree that these are what we're kind of shooting for? Is this our mission statement? Are these our core values? And everybody kind of agreed. They said, this is great. And I was really surprised to see that they were so enthusiastic about it. And one of them even mentioned, they said, this is something that I've really wanted out of our company to be able to have, so I can have these goals and things that I'm shooting for. And in my mind, I'm just going, really? I'm like, you're awesome. Why would you need something like this? Because she was awesome. I mean, she was like kind of like running my company along with me, kind of a thing. And so it was a real eye opener to me to understand that employees need to have direction and they need to have leadership from us as owners of the company in a way that we don't suspect that they do. And so I wanted to kind of put that out there as a key learning experience for me, that employees need to have those types of things. And so I thought I'd take just a minute and talk about something that that Michael talked about, which is setting goals and how to set them properly. So we're not going to go through the whole process, but I want to talk about each one just for a minute, and then we'll get back into some questions and answers and get on to something that's a little bit more productive as far as this is concerned. So the first thing that you set up when you set up a goal is a broad primary outcome. And maybe I can illustrate this with an example. For instance, in World War II, what was the goal of World War II? And my answer was to win the war, right? But that is not the goal. That was not the goal of World War II. The goal was a little bit higher than that. It was to preserve the freedom of the United States of America. So that was the goal. Now, typically goals need to be very specific as far as I should say they need to be measurable. Now, preserving the freedom of the United States isn't super measurable, but in our companies, they probably should be a little bit more measurable type of a thing. So that's the goal for World War II. And then you can kind of bring that down to what your goal as a company would be. Maybe it would be to serve our clients in a capacity to grow and enhance their businesses. Or maybe it's simple, like to make the lives of the business owners that we work for better, kind of a thing. Something like that, right? And so the next step down would be strategies. Now, the strategies are the approach that you take to achieve that goal. Now, these are more nebulous. These are like ways that you do certain things. And so strategies are more like we need to, like in World War II, the strategy would be we need to cut off the supply line for Germany. So we need to surround them with troops and have air support and things like that to make that happen. So that would be kind of a strategy to achieve the goal. Now, below the strategies are objectives. Now, these are very measurable steps that you achieve that you take to achieve the strategy. So, for instance, having the supply line cut off, that objective is a measurable way that you can say, okay, to make that happen, we need to have different troops and auxiliaries and different capacities of the military in these locations. And you can measure it because when they're in that location, you've achieved your objective, right? Now, one step below that is the tactic. Now, the tactic is those are the tools that you use to make that happen. So that means, okay, we need tanks, we need planes, we need gasoline. Those are like the different tactics that you have, which are set to achieve your objectives. So those are all the major parts of setting goals, which are the goal, the strategy, the objective, and then the tactic. So my challenge to you is, and I'm not going to go any further on this, and I'm going to put a link to an article that Michael wrote about this, so that you can, if you're interested in this, you can read it yourself. I suggest that you do read it because this would be a good practice for you to implement in your company to set up company goals. Things that allow you and your employees to understand what I'm doing right now at this moment. Is this contributing to an objective or the ultimate goal of my company? And as you're sitting there looking at Facebook, watching videos, that may not be. And so you can say, this is not helping me achieve my goal. I need to stop what I'm doing. Or if you're like designing something that doesn't achieve what you're going to do for your ultimate objective right now, then it's a distraction from you moving forward. So anyway, this was kind of an eye-opener for me to be able to step back a little bit and say, okay, we're very busy. We're doing lots of different things, but are we doing them as efficiently and in the right way as possible to be successful as a company? And the answer for me was no. And so it caused me to step back a little bit and say, I need to step back and spend a few minutes, set some goals, and furthermore, set the strategies, the objectives, and the tactics to achieve those goals to be more successful. So that was a big takeaway for me. And it's something that's simple. It's something we've all kind of heard before in the past. And it's something that I think is going to radically change our business and the way that I personally work in the business. And I think that it's going to change the way our employees work too, because that it gives them a very clear direction on what they're doing at every moment of the day, if it's either distracting from what we're doing or if it's helping what we're doing to achieve our goals. So, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I hope that was helpful just in a little way. Okay, so let's get back to some questions and answers here just really quick. Let's see here. Any updates on the white label video that was supposed to come out the first quarter? Well, yes. So here, that relates back to the mastermind again. So there is another person that was there at the mastermind who is genius in a completely different way. He is a storyteller. He came from a background of the corporate world and things like that. And what he did is he used his storytelling talents in a marketing perspective. And so with these stories that he uses, he draws out emotion, and it's pretty much guaranteed you've seen some of his work before. He's pretty popular, and he's very prolific as far as what he's done in video and writing and things like that. So anyway, I was able to take a few minutes and talk with him about this video, because when I wrote out the script for this video, it was not very good. I'm just not a very good salesperson. I mean, I can't really tell stories well and things like that. So what I did is I gave him the script, the video, and I said, I need some help with this. And so that's where it is right now, is that it's in his hands. And he said, just give me a couple of days and I'll get back with you on some ideas on how to make this, a little bit different than what you have now. So it's still in progress, and we're having the script rewritten right now. And as soon as that's done, then what we'll do is we'll put all the mechanics together. We'll get a voiceover person. We'll get the video itself put together, things like that. But it's all based on the script. So, Kevin, that's where we are right now. So sorry it's taken so long. It's just we want to get it done right the first time instead of just putting out something that's chintzy or second rate. So when it comes out, I guarantee it'll be something you'll be proud to put on your websites and stuff like that. All right. There's another question in here. It says, what is the best way to go through local oxygen for project management? I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Mike. Can you ask that again in a different way? So I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Okay. Now, one question that we've gotten a couple times last week that I thought that we would do, since we're right here on this page, is is there a place that we can go to that I can remember like the size of banners and stuff? Because I want to create my own banners or have somebody else do it, which is cool. How do I remember like the sizes, and is there any some examples that I can show my clients that I can show them to say, hey, I kind of want to do it like this, but we'll put your picture here and we'll put these words there. And so if you look right here on option 3, $20 banners is a great place to go to look at the types of banners that are available out there. And specifically, if you click right here on their portfolio, you can see here's all the different sizes of banners that you should be creating. See these 4 sizes? Those are the ones that you need to be creating for your stuff there. And so if you click on the 300 by 250, you can come down here and you can see all these banners that they have. These are great examples, and you can kind of repurpose a lot of these down here. So you can say, hey, I want something like this for a real estate agent, or maybe I want something, you know, like with a house on it or whatever. But you can get some really good ideas on colors and how to put buttons on there and how to kind of like lay it out for things that you like. And so these are really great to be able to send over to like your development team. I'm sorry, your creative team, to be able to say, hey, just make it look like this, but I want, you know, these changes to it, of course, that kind of a thing. And so it keeps you from having to spend time to be creative yourself and just say, hey, I like the way this one looks. Let's build one of these like this for one of our real estate clients. Awesome. Off you go. So little time spent on that. So I just want to go over and remind you guys that it's right over here under training and resources, and then the training and resources, and then the $20 banners right here. All right. Let's see here. Edward was asking, which is the best webinar that runs through the latest sales presentation? I'm looking at this list right here, trying to see. You know, I don't know which one it is that's on here. I'd have to go back and look. That would be good, though, to know which one has the sales presentation. You know what we should probably do for the sales stuff is have one of you guys who are good salesmen come on and tell us how you do your sales presentations. That would probably be more enlightening than Todd and I telling you. I mean, we have a couple of cool stories that we tell, which is the the leaky bucket story, and then the revolving door story. So any of those would be, let me see, what would that be? See this sales presentation training right here on 922? That's probably a good one to go to, because the sales presentation stuff has not really changed over time. So this might be a good one for you to go to. Right here is on 9/22/2015. See that one there. All right. Mike was saying, it was a comment that the best way to get client approvals on banners is to go through Local Oxygen and use the project management system that is built on Local Oxygen to get approval from clients. So that's great. If you have Local Oxygen, you can definitely do that. Would you guys be interested in seeing how we do it with Local Oxygen? How we use them in conjunction with each other? If not, Mike, you and I can just go through and do it one-on-one. I'll show you how we do that, because it is a great system to do it back and forth that way. So yes, sure, show. Okay, excellent. Okay. Okay, excellent. So I've got at least 6 people that said they'd like to see that. So let me take just a quick second to tell you what Local Oxygen is. For you guys who don't know what it is, you can go out and get a free account right now. Type in localoxygen.com. This is the other side of our software that focuses on rankings and search engine, SEO type stuff and local rankings. So basically, if you go to the SERPs, which is Google, and you type in, say, Phoenix Dentist, this is what we do with Local Oxygen. We have like a recipe that we just give out to everybody that shows everybody how we rank in the 3-pack and in the local listings right here. So basically that's what Local Oxygen does. Now to do that, it takes a lot of communication and a lot of different types of work. If you want to start a free account, you could just come up here and sign up for free. I'll just put the link in here so you can click on it if you want to. This is not meant to be a paid advertisement, not at all. Let me go ahead and log into one of our accounts here real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Trying to log in so you don't see the passwords. All right, cool. All right, so what we do is when we have, say for instance, let's just assume that we have some banners that are created. In fact, I'm just going to download this one real quick. I'm going to save that image to the downloads. I'm going to go back to, I'll do 2 of them. We'll grab this one, and we'll do 1 more. Okay. So say for instance we have like say 3 images that are ready to download. Ready to preview for your customer so that they can approve it, right? So what we can do here is we can go over on Local Oxygen, and we can, let me get things situated here. We can go through and we can create a new account for them. So this one's on this account. I'm going to set it to some kind of junk account because I'm going to mess it up. You can tell this is our test account. Let's go to this one right here, Anderson Consulting. So from here, we have a place in here called Project Management. And if you guys have ever used Basecamp, you know what this works like. So basically, we come in here to Files. But one thing that Basecamp doesn't have, that I don't think that they have, that we built in because we need to get things approved all the time, whether it be a press release or graphics of some kind, or like banners in our case. What we can do is let me just add a new file here real quick. So I'm just going to drag and drop these 3 banners into this files area, and you can see right here that you have the ability to either make it invisible to the client or visible. So if you click on this right here, it's going to say, hey, do you want to share this item with the client? You can say, yeah. Now they can see it on their client back end. So the difference between this Local Oxygen and Traffic Oxygen is that the client has a white labeled client login in this area. And let me show you what it looks like. So if you click on Project Management, you see the client portal. I'm just going to open it in a new tab real quick. So this is what it looks like on the client side. And so let's go to the files. So now we can see this item right here that the client was just shared from us. So you can see that these 2 are invisible, so the client doesn't see it, right? But they see this one. Now let me show you something that's pretty cool. So this is how we do the approvals. And so what we'll do is see this big, huge requires approval button on here. Can't miss it. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose the customer right here, and I'm going to choose Save. Okay, so now this is in a state of approval. So the customer was just sent a text and an email saying, hey, we have an item that needs approval. Can you please click this link to either approve or give us some feedback? So I'm going to choose another one right here. In fact, I'm going to show you why I'm doing a second one. You see how this is invisible to the client? Well, as soon as you click on apply approval for the customer, it's going to immediately change it to visible to the client because otherwise they couldn't approve it, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and refresh it. So pretend that they've gotten an email and or a text and they've clicked the button. This is where they're taken to. Now from here, it says, hey, we need, it requires approval from the customer. And if they approve it, it's going to say, are you sure you want to approve it? You're going to say yes. Excellent. So now the project manager was just sent a text and an email saying, so-and-so just approved this, this image right here. And then on the second one right here, if you click on reject, then it'll say, please specify the reason why you're going to reject this file. And you can say, can you please move the logo to the top instead of the bottom? All right. So we can reject that file right there. So now at the same time, the project manager was just sent a note saying that it was rejected. So now on the project management side, they can jump in here and they can say, okay, now what's the reason for the rejection again? Oh, move the logo to the top. No problem. That'll take me 2 minutes. Okay, so you move it to the top and then you can kind of start the process again. But this is pretty cool because this allows you to take something that's commonly a very arduous process, which is sending emails back and forth, and maybe the email gets blocked or they can't see the images on their email, things that just happen with email, which is kind of klutzy. And it brings it into a really nice process where you have a branded backend. So this ClickC brand right here is something that we branded. It's not, of course, it's not, local oxygen. So you put your logo up here. You can even put the customer's logo on their side here if you want to. But basically, it allows you a safe place that you can go back and forth and get things approved from your customer. So anyway, hope that was helpful. And so you can kind of use that in conjunction with Traffic Oxygen to get things approved. All right. Let's see here. So what does the free local oxygen account give us? Oh, that's a good question. So we definitely limit you on here for the free account. So you get 2 free accounts basically for life on local oxygen. So the only thing that's blocked, you can use these for your own companies. I highly recommend that you jump in here and let me get rid of this client portal. I definitely recommend jumping in and using this for your own company to promote yourself. This will take you, and you can watch the videos. We're not going to go through it now, but it'll take you through the process of like this checklist right here of how to rank for your own company in your own local market, so that when people are looking for local marketing or social media or whatever you do, that you'll show up in the 3-pack as well as the in the organic rankings. So it'll show you how to do all that. It'll also show you how to rank videos and press releases and all kinds of stuff. It's very comprehensive. This is not kindergarten software. It'll take a little bit for you guys to get used to it and to learn it. But the gist of it is it's built around a checklist, and the checklist is built so that each item has a video. So you watch the video, you do what the video says, and you mark it as done. So that's really what it boils down to. So every item in here has a video that needs one, and then you do what the video says, and you mark it as completed. You're done. That kind of a thing. So anyway, get in here and use it for yourself, and then if you decide to grow out into it, I think it's pretty much unlimited use for like $97 a month or something like that. It's not expensive at all. Okay. Local Oxygen University has some great sales training too. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, that's another good point. So if you come up here under the training, you can see that we have a local marketing university, and from a free project, you can't really see the training because it's like ridiculously awesome. It's worth literally 10 times what you'll pay for it. My partner, Andy, who lives in Melbourne, Australia, he has created just the most awesome training for local marketing. And you can see that there's everything from soup to nuts. If you're brand new, it'll help you kind of like, how do you start up your local agency? What's your strategic business plan? What's your big picture blueprint? Setting up your agency, like mechanically, like how do you do a business structure, and how do you set up payment systems, and like everything from soup to nuts all the way here to really advanced, skilled sales processes, as well as tactics and strategies on how to market, things like that. So anyway, I don't want to get into it too much, but it's pretty cool. Let's see here. Do we have any done for you stuff on here? Funny that you ask. In fact, it's exactly the same as on Traffic Oxygen. So I'm going to show you the done for you stuff here on Traffic Oxygen real quick. So if you click on DFY products and click on pricing and details, you'll see all of this stuff in here for all the products that you can buy as done for you. There's a ton of them in here. We're not going to go over them. But if you click on here for local oxygen, you go back here. Let's go on here. Let me go here. Hold on a second. I think it logged me out. So anyway, you're going to see the same things here on local oxygen as you see on, let me see here. If you go under reseller and then reseller pricing, it's literally going to be identical to what's on Traffic Oxygen. So there are done for you services, and all the done for you services on Traffic Oxygen are fulfilled through our local oxygen fulfillment team. So yeah, there's a ton of cool stuff that you can get through us here. We'd love to help you out with anything that you don't want to do yourself. And one of our project managers, he says, he was talking with a client, and the client says, "Oh, well, you guys do the yuck." And Kevin was like, "What? What do you mean we do the yuck?" He's like, "Oh, you do all that stuff that I don't like to do. I call it yuck." He's like, "Oh, I guess we do the yuck." And so yeah, fulfillment can be a bear sometimes if you're busy selling and have a lot of clients and stuff like that. So that's where we're here to step in and help you out. And that's the whole premise behind Traffic Oxygen as well, is that we're here to run your campaigns for you so you don't have to help you grow and thrive as a business. All right. Cynthia was asking, what monthly, or the monthly is what you charge. Do you have a suggested price that we sell it for presentation tomorrow? Yeah, so basically what we suggest is to have a $500 a month management fee for pretty much anything you do. If you get under $500 a month, you probably have the wrong customer. Not that you shouldn't take them ever, but it should be extremely sparingly. If you're making less than $500 a month on a customer, in my opinion, you shouldn't be working with them, because either they're broke or there's a problem with their company because they can't afford you. And they'll become the biggest pain in your butt, believe it or not. I don't care if it's your friends, you've known this person for a long time. These companies that spend the least with you will take up the most time. It's just a really weird inverse relationship. That being said, so you should spend they should be spending at least $500 a month with you for any services that you do, pretty much without exception. Now, Cynthia was saying, no, I meant for other services such as reputation, SEO, and stuff like that. Oh, well, that's a different discussion. What I would recommend doing is watching this video up here. It'll be helpful for you. And if you notice right here, it says we recommend that the sales price for these is either 2 times or 3 times what your cost is right here. So keep this private. This is your own wholesale costs. So keep this private. But for instance, if you're paying $497 for this comprehensive, ranking local marketing plan, then you're going to want to be charging them at least $1,000 to $1,500 for it. It's very common for companies to charge $1,200 for this product right here. And then you can just kind of go down from here. I'll let you look at the prices and stuff like that in here. If you need some help on here, you can reach out to us at help@Traffic Oxygen. We'll help you out. All right. What platform does Local Oxygen use for reputation? So I hope this is helpful. We're not really talking about Traffic Oxygen, but I think this is helpful. You guys are still on to talk about just general local marketing stuff. So I'm happy to talk about it. But if you guys don't feel like you're going to rub me raw, if you say, can we move on to something that's more related to retargeting or something like that? If you want to do that, just let me know. But I think this might be helpful for a few other people online as well. So the platform that we use for Local Oxygen is called Reputation Loop. And we have it fully integrated into the system so that all of the metrics and information comes into the reports automatically. So it's nice. It's what we found is the least amount of work for the most amount of benefit for Reputation Loop. And so if you guys, I'm gonna put a link out here real quick. Give me 1 second. I'll give you guys a link to where it is. Let's see here. It used to be called Reputation Bug, if you guys remember. Let's see here. I think this is the right link. Let me try it real quick. If you buy it off of my affiliate link, you get more stuff. So not that I need to make money off of these guys, because it's not really that big a deal for me. Let's see here. Here we go. I'll put it in here because I think you get twice the number of projects if you order through this affiliate link than if you don't. So anyway, it's pretty cool because, let me show you what it looks like. It's great because basically it works off of emails, and let's see here. I think that might be the wrong link actually. But it works off of emails to go out and solicit reviews and testimonials from people. To go to Facebook, Google, Yelp, things like that, and it identifies negative reviews so that the customers can go and they can address those reviews and make sure that they turn the negatives into positives. And it's a very reasonable price. I don't even know how much it costs anymore, actually. Let's see here. So for a single business like us, it would be, I think it's like $47 a month or something like that. It's not that bad, but it's really spectacular. So we use Reputation Loop for our reputation management. Not to say that other things shouldn't be done. We also use a lot of David Sprague's stuff as well. He's like a master at reputation. All right. All right, so Patrick was saying, hey, I jumped on late, and I'm sorry if you haven't covered this, but in addition to the banner service and the other DFY services, do you build landing pages for the retargeting and display advertising as well? And the answer is yeah, and the way that you do that is you jump into Traffic Oxygen here, and you can go through here to, let me go back to the order section. You order by adding a new order right here, and so you can click on here to go and order banners. But if you scroll down here to the website area right here, you're going to see a landing page area right here where you can choose a landing page to order right here. And again, when you order through here, you don't need to pay money to do this, because what will happen is we'll get with you and work out all the details to make sure this is exactly what you need and all that, and then we'll send you an invoice later. Kind of thing. So you can feel free to use this ordering system just to reach out to us and say, hey, I got a client who needs this stuff. Let's talk. Okay. All right. So yeah, we do landing pages a lot. In fact, the landing pages that we create, just to let you know, we build them typically on ClickFunnels, if you're familiar with that product. So we'll put that all together for you, and that way, if you don't have a lot of landing pages that you do, you don't have to buy your own ClickFunnels account, because it gets expensive if you only have like 1 or 2 ClickFunnels. If you only have 1 or 2 landing pages that you're managing. Now, in addition to that, if you have your own ClickFunnels account and you still want us to build it, we'll jump into your ClickFunnels account and build it in your account if you choose as well. So that's sometimes very helpful. All right. So it's getting towards the top of the hour. Any last minute questions before we wrap it up? Oh, a couple just came in right here. I know that you mentioned that Traffic Oxygen is 3 times cheaper than AdRoll or Perfect Audience because they're offering their platform at retail pricing where Traffic Oxygen is wholesale. What is it that allows Traffic Oxygen to get wholesale pricing when Perfect Audience and AdRoll can't get wholesale pricing? Okay, so here's what happens. We all get wholesale pricing. It's just that they mark it up before they give it to you. So we all get the same pricing. It's not like they get any better pricing than we do. They just choose to mark it up because of the use of their platform. So we just choose not to mark it up as much as they do. So that's the difference between us. So we work with a completely different business model. Their model is to bring in either agencies or individual businesses that will manage everything themselves. And if you've used any of these services before, you don't get help from them. I think they may have a help desk, but their ticketing system is like, you may wait 3 or 4 days before you get an answer, and it's kind of difficult to work with them. There's nobody that you can talk to. There's no training. There's no nothing like that. So it's basically just hands off, and they just provide the software and figure it out yourself kind of thing. So that being said, that's their model, and our model is we work with agencies just like you guys, and we have found that to make you guys successful, we need to do that work for you. So what we've done is we marked up the data for sure, but not nearly as much as they have to cover the cost of managing your accounts and for support and being able to meet with Todd and I and stuff like that. And so we take a lot less profit than they do. We just decided to do that so you could be more profitable on your side. Okay, hope that answers that. Retargeting question. If best practice is to create a landing page for the retargeting and display advertising traffic, does the URL of the landing page go spot on form that says URL instead of their homepage? So yes. So basically, I think I understand what you're saying. So when you order a new product, let's go ahead and just do one real quick. Let's go ahead and add a done for you product. This business name right here, let's just go in here and put in test business. And we'll go like 300. And we'll go this. Let's see if it'll let me. Give me 1 second. Let me put some junk in here. I need to get to the next section so I can show you what that looks like. Let's do 401. Let's make some stuff up here. And click on next. Okay, so this website URL is the one I'm thinking you're talking about. Am I right? Pretty sure that's what you're talking about. So basically, this website right here is actually not the website that you would. This is actually their website. This is not the landing page. So this website would be like mywebsite.com. So this would be their legit website right here, Patrick. And then further on down the road, when you build the banners, then the banners is going to ask you what website to send the traffic to, because we need to know this website right here to know what company it is and to find out like where what they do, do research on them so that when we're setting up your campaigns, we can have that information. And then later on, when you build your banners, let me show you what that looks like. This is really where we pull the information from. So when you build your banners and you give us that information, what we'll do is we'll get with you and or when you put your information in for the banners, if we create them, then this is where we put where the landing page URL is. You see this? And this is what actually we measure, and that's what we send all of the traffic to at that point. Okay, so good question. So the first one is actually their legit website, and the second one, where the banners are where the actual landing page would go to. Now, if there's a question on where to put it when you sign up, there's like a little is there any like notes that you want to take or that you want to give us? You can always put there if you're not sure. Say, hey, this is the landing page, but I put the website in there, kind of thing. All right. All right. Let's see here. Off topic. Let me see. Let's see, David. I don't know if I can share that that question. Let's see here. Did I hear something? How do I get to Clixie and how did I hear about? Oh, don't worry about Clixie. That was just branding that we stuck on there. It has nothing to do with anything. It's an old business that I used to have, but we just on the local oxygen side, this Clixie thing. It's just we put that up there to show you that you can brand it yourself, like this ugly color of green and weird color of blue on the side. This is how you can kind of customize everything yourself inside of local oxygen. So don't worry about any of that. That's just branding stuff that you can do for your own company. Make it look like yourself. In the local oxygen account, because inside of local oxygen you have employees and stuff like that, where inside traffic oxygen it's not important, because basically this is basically you just place the orders and then everything on the report side is all white labeled at that point. You don't have employees coming in here doing work and stuff like that, whereas local oxygen employees spend most of their day inside of there doing work, kind of thing. So it's a little bit different. All right. So let's go ahead and finish up here. These have been great questions. I hope that our little discussion on goal setting and getting your core values and your mission statement together was helpful. I encourage you to do that. It helps you give yourself direction, as well as any employees that you might have, to provide the leadership that needs to be given to employees and things like that as well. So thanks for being on with us today. And if there's anything that you need from us, again, it's help@trafficoxygen.com. Go ahead and reach out to us. We're always willing to meet with you guys and help you with any proposals, any sales. We love to work with you guys to help you guys be successful in any way possible. And also anything in the software that you notice that is not working right or that you wish that was there, just let us know, because Todd and I are programmers and we can sort of make that happen. So thanks for everything, guys. Love to see you guys, your success stories and things like that. So be prepared next time to come back with some success stories. And I'm going to put a little note to myself to ask you about it next time, so that we can kind of share this, because I think everybody likes to hear success stories. And so we'll spend a few minutes at the beginning and talk about what's going good with your companies. All right. So thanks everyone for everything. Have a great week. Go crush it, and reach out to us if you need us. And we'll see you again next week at the same time in the same place. Talk soon.